The assault on law-abiding gun owners has now come to the state of New Jersey. Now, this after police in the Garden State and officials from the child welfare knocked on the door of Sean Moore, and all because of this photo of his 11-year-old son, who, by the way, has a hunting license, and it was posted on Facebook. Now, earlier today, they went on Fox and Friends and recounted what happened when authorities showed up at their front door. Watch this.
They wanted to go through the house, make sure guns were not available to kids, and once they went through the house, they wanted to get into my safe, and they wanted to run the serial numbers on all my firearms and make sure they were all registered to me and catalog them.
What did you think of that plan?
Well, I think it's totally illegal because in New Jersey you don't have to register your firearms. And I didn't commit any crime, I wasn't charged with anything, and they even admitted that it was a false claim, so they had no reason to go in my safe without a search warrant. Then the Department of Child Services, formerly known as DIFUS, started threatening to take my kids if we didn't do that. And they were asking me if I had anything to hide. If I didn't, why wouldn't I open the safe? And they kept telling me they were going to come back with a warrant. I told them, go ahead. And after probably about an hour of them arguing with me, they eventually packed up their stuff and left.
Pretty unbelievable. Now, Fox News reached out to the Department of Children and Families, and they would not confirm or deny the story. Joining me now is reaction columnist, author Michelle Malkin is back with us. Does the word illegal search and seizure come in play here? Somebody reports them. I guess we have, what, people telling on each other, or they see a picture on Facebook. They go in, aggressively demand entry, aggressively demand access to somebody's private property. Your reaction?
Yeah. It's chilling. I grew up in New Jersey, and I'm not surprised to see this kind of zealous jackboot overreach by child welfare officials. And remember that in this case, the blame doesn't go to the police officers who were merely responding the way that they had to. It is the Department of Children and Family, formerly known as DIFUS, that has to be under scrutiny here. And a basic question about why there are no sanctions, no punishment for people who call in anonymously and then falsely accuse people of child abuse. The problem with so many of these kinds of child welfare departments all across the country, and you can hear stories, horror stories from families across the country, is that these government officials who spend millions and millions and billions of dollars in the name of protecting and saving children and family manufacture child abuse when it doesn't exist and then fail to do anything about it and stop it when it's blindingly right in front of their faces.
If I was them, I would sue the state of New Jersey. I'd absolutely, they had no right to threaten to take that boy away. They didn't even ask the question. The kid has a hunting license. That was a .22 caliber weapon, you know, kind of just a couple of grades up from a high-powered pellet rifle, for crying out loud. And you know what? They did not respect the constitutional rights of this family, period. They were out of bounds.
That's right. And there's a context of post-Newtown hysteria going on here, because just last week there was a story that was broken by Harriet Baldwin at the Examiner about another mom in New Jersey who had her guns confiscated from her simply for standing up at a tax forum and expressing her political views. The bigotry and the witch hunt against gun owners, and particularly gun owners who are parents, is something that's happening across the country. It's very chilling. And you know what, Sean? The mockery of Second Amendment activists across this country by the left, by Hollywood, by the White House and the Democrats, of those people who have been fearing confiscation in the wake of all of these gun control schemes, really is telling. Because at the same time that they're laughing at them, they are squashing their parental and Second Amendment rights.
All right. Now, there was some good news yesterday, and that is Harry Reid announced that Dianne Feinstein's bill to this gun grab of hers is not going to go forward in the U.S. Senate. Very angry Dianne Feinstein reacting. Let's roll the tape.
This is very important to me, and I'm not going to lay down and play dead. I think the American people have said in every single public poll that they support this kind of legislation. It's aimed to protect children, to protect schools and malls. It's aimed to dry up the supply of these over time. And it came out on a 10-8 vote of the Judiciary Committee. Not to give me a vote on this would be a major betrayal of trust.
Yeah, dry up over time is the key word, which, by the way, Michelle, is very different. If Dianne Feinstein needs protection, high, mighty, elitist senator, she's going to have her protection. Listen to this.
I know the sense of helplessness that people feel. I know the urge to arm yourself, because that's what I did. I was trained in firearms. I'd walk to the hospital when my husband was sick. I carried a concealed weapon. And I made the determination that if somebody was going to try to take me out, I was going to take them with me.
Oh, a little different tone. For, of course, the elites, they deserve the right to keep and bear arms, but not we, the people. We get to eat cake, and maybe we're stuck with a steak knife to defend ourselves.
Right, or in Colorado, women who fear rape are advised to, of course, just use a whistle or rely
urinate
on broken call boxes, right, or bodily fluids, assault bodily fluids. Look, for Dianne Feinstein and elites like her, it's always arms for we, but not for thee. And now she's whining about the fact that even Harry Reid understands political realities when it comes to overreaching on these gun grab progressive, ineffective schemes.
All right, Michelle Malkin, always good to see you. Thank you.
You bet.